Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream, all you YouTubers and all of you Twitch people out there. Glad you could make it today. So, today we're going to be working on a Morrowind mod called... Excuse me. We're going to be working on a Morrowind mod called Outlander. Which is a big freaking overhaul. You know, just about everything you can imagine in the game. Well, I mean, no, it's not that big. It's what, 7 or 8 cities? Completely overhauled. Plus we have new systems for like crafting and tons of new objects and stuff, so it should be good. Is Outlander compatible with MGSO? Excuse me just 1 minute here. I got a frog in my throat. Yes, Outlander is compatible with MGSO. Although I will say that MGSO is kind of a bit of a resource hog, so your mileage may vary. Like, I'm running this on a somewhat nice computer right now, and yeah, I mean, it dips down into like the 35, 40 frames per second, especially inside of Vivek City. Whoa, okay. I don't know, what should we work on today? Should we work on Tel Mithryn or should we work on Outlander? Because I think I want to go ahead and finish out Tel Mithryn, but... yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Steak all the way. Ah, you've returned. Welcome to the stream, man. You're not a vegetarian. Oh, you just don't like steak or chicken. See, I don't understand that. I run MGSO on a GTX 960 and an i36-200 and 8 gigs of RAM, and my frames stay between 40 and 120 frames per second. Finishing things is also good. Yeah, that's a hard call. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We will go ahead and not work on Outlander right now because there's a couple stuff that we need to get done inside of Tel Mithryn. I haven't even worked on that thing at all in the past week, which is terrible, I know. But I've been trying to get my mojo back lately. I don't know if it guys ever happens to you, but sometimes you kind of get stuck in a bit of a rut. Right? Like, you just cannot get out of bed. And for me, the equivalent to that is just not working on Morrowind at all, so... you just get kind of a little bit burnt out. I've been playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and then I got burnt out of Star Wars, so yeah, I don't know. Okay, so this is Tel Mithryn. It's looked better, actually, because we have a new mesh that's going to come up on the top here, which I was working on earlier. So everything that you see here as far as like the big tower and stuff is going to be replaced with a completely new mesh at some point. And then of course we have the smaller little house pods down here in the front, and then the little guar pit in the back as well, so. But yeah, what I would like to do in this place is to make it so that you can sort of build up Tel Mithryn a little bit. And that means that we need to have more than one of these house pods, right? We need to have like 2 different versions, one of them which is empty, and then one of them that has stuff inside of them. Make sense? So that you can talk to somebody, he will go ahead and flip a flag or whatever, and then the next time that you enter through and activate or enter through that doorway, it will link to a different cell. Hopefully that made sense. It's understandable since it's about 11 or something cantons. Yeah, technically it's 9 cantons, but then I also have all of that city that's around Vivek as well, which is another 9 cells. Which I want to let me pull that up first. I want to actually get started on the interiors of those places. I think that we can, like, as soon as we get started on the interiors for Vivec City, the outskirts of Vivec City, those districts, that's going to be probably about 140 to 200 new cells. But here's the issue. So we have, this kind of goes into the data structure of Morrowind mods. In fact, I'm going to copy these things out. So yeah, the big problem, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to copy the entire thing, and then we'll move it out. There's two different types of Morrowind mods. There's the master files, and then there's the plugin files. This might get a little bit wonky here, just bear with me here for a minute. So the master files are the big ones. They're the things that everything else links into. And the plugins, well, think of them as like little tiny extensions, like little tiny tweaks. Okay, good enough. The problem is I need to go ahead and get Outlander 1, like version 1, to a master status so that the ESP for Outlander Part 2 can link into Part 1. But since I'm still working on Part 1, that means that I can't do the interiors for Vivec City. Unless I wanted to have them as officially part of Part 1, and I don't because it's complicated. But yeah, shenanigans. That's what it comes down to. Is this the vanilla CS? If so, how did you make it so black? It's okay. So I get that question a lot, in fact. There you go. So we got a handy dandy little Rootpod telling you what's going on. But yeah, basically it's just a Windows 7 theme that's the CS actually isn't white by default. It's default by default. The color of it is default by default. It's just that Windows is white by default. So if you change what color Windows is by default, then consequently you change the color of the CS. It's a little convoluted, I know, but it makes sense if you stop and think about it. Alistair, dude, welcome to the stream, man. Oh, hey, by the way, I wanted to go ahead and give a shout out to Dark Elf Guy. I don't know if anybody here doesn't know who Dark Elf Guy is right now, but he is a Morrowind streamer, but that kind of undersells it a little bit. He does a lot of like YouTube reviews and showcases and stuff. And in fact, he was the orchestrator of a competition here a couple months ago, which we're just about to hear the results of. So yeah, if you don't know who this guy is, or if you haven't checked out his channel yet, you totally should. Dark Elf Guy, well worth a look. Okay, so you see what I did here. I took out basically everything that's inside of this place. And when the player first comes into here, it's just going to be an empty room. And in fact, we might even put some like boxes and stuff in here or something. Yeah, there's a couple of Vivec expansion mods out there. The nice thing about Outlander is that it isn't very incompatible with the larger ones out there. I mean, of course, the ones that change the position of the cantons and the size of them and stuff. Yeah, that's an issue. But for the smaller overhauls, like the ones that just replace the tops of them or something, yeah, it works just fine. Finally back to internet life. You know, hopefully this thing is going to... How should I say this? Hopefully I am not going to feel as burnt out as I have. And we'll get back to regular streaming again, because I used to do this thing like every single day. Or pretty close to that anyway. Yeah, okay, so I think we'll have boxes and stuff here. We'll keep the lights for now. Oh, I gotta put the books on the bookcases too, don't I? In the original one. That is kind of important. was close to 48 hours without internet. That's cause for a riot, at least in my house. I don't know what I would do with 48 hours without internet. Is the Tel Mithryn made from custom meshes, or is it a vanilla mesh? This here is a custom mesh, like this interior here. So this is completely new. As is the levitation pad as well. Now this levitation pad is pretty cool because it acts like a kaleidoscope in game. It actually moves around and changes and wobbles and stuff. Warbles? Warbles. As it sets now, though, I am going to replace the exterior Tel Mithryn, but right now it's just kind of built with vanilla meshes. And the reason why I did this is because I wanted to get a proper scale on this thing, just to see how it would look in game. But yeah, all of this stuff on the outside is going to get replaced, which I have sort of half of a mesh. I mean, we can go ahead and pull that up if you guys want. I can show that off. That's fine. Yeah, there we go. So this right here is, like, if we zoom in all the way down here, this is like a person. And then this up here is... It's probably going to be facing this way, I think. And then, of course, we'll go ahead and put in some details, like some branches and stuff that come out here, and then stuff that's hanging down from the sides and stuff. But yeah, this thing is going to be freaking massive. Oh, and we're probably going to replace the texture up here too, just so that it looks like a Telvanni tower. But I needed something that had kind of a mushroom-esque shape and feel to it. So there you go. That's what it's gonna look like. You're 44 hours in your way from Poland to Sweden, and you didn't have LTE on your phone. Ugh. Yeah, I could not survive. For one, somebody would kill me, and if that didn't happen, I'd probably have to off myself or something. I don't know. What you do is suffer. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because it's true. Okay, I'm gonna actually... Yeah, we'll pop... Ooh, what's this? It's a light source, but why is there a light source all the way out here? Okay. We might even go ahead and put in some dark lights into the abandoned ones, or I should say the ones that aren't built up yet. Okay, and then we need to do it on this one as well. So there are a few custom meshes that we need to still do for this place. Believe it or not. I would like to have something that's a little bit more... how do you say this? Unified? Like, because, I mean, it works well enough where we have this. We need to put in a platform down underneath as well, but... I don't know, you can kind of tell that this was made out of vanilla meshes. And I think we can do better. I think we can do something that has stairways that come in from both sides, and then link up to a doorway instead of having one that comes and displays out in the front of the center here. I don't know, just a thought we can play around with. In fact, we could even have it go omnidirectional, or not omni, unidirectional. Right, so it only goes out to one side, but since it's symmetrical on all sides, then it sort of makes sense, right? It sort of fits. Yeah, I think we'll keep the flower beds here, but we'll get rid of all of the adornishments and flora and stuff. That's probably a good idea. Did I make the custom meshes myself? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There are about... Ooh, that's a good question. Now you got me curious. I don't know how many custom meshes that we have so far. I think it's still about 1,500. Let's give it a look. Yeah, we're at 1544 right now. So that's a fair amount of meshes right there. Of course, all of this stuff is for Outlander, and technically we're working on Tel Mithryn right now, so we can't use most of the new meshes, but we can use some of them. In fact, you're going to see like quite a few of the Outlander meshes in here. Like these brambles that are coming up right now, those things are completely new. Oh yeah, man, we've been working on this thing for, I should say, I've been working on this thing for about 2 years now. Yeah, it's a little bit over 2 years. Craziness. You know, when I started this project, I didn't think it was going to take so long. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. I mean, it certainly has given me something to do. Oh, hey, give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. God damn, that's a lot. Yeah. So, hey, I'm a voice actor, and I've done quite a few Skyrim mods, and I was wondering if there was also some Morrowind mods that needed voice actors. Does anybody have an idea? You know, right now, and I don't know if Tamriel Rebuilt is doing this or not, but I would be surprised if they didn't have at least a couple positions available for voice acting. They have a meeting going on right now, like right this instant, and probably for about the next 2 hours too, inside of their Discord channel. It's a great project. It's been around for, I don't know, 16 years now. Because technically it started before Morrowind came out, in fact. And the idea behind that project is that they're trying to redo the... actually, they're trying to build the mainland. So, I mean, if you're interested in lending your voice acting talent somewhere, that's probably a good place to start. I mean, if you want to do something for Morrowind. And if they don't know, I mean, I am absolutely certain that that project is large enough that they know somebody who could use some help. So that's where I would start, man.
Under sun and sky, Outlander, we greet you warmly.
Okay, I like this interior here. It's supposed to be something of a small garden, like a botanical garden, or maybe that's a little bit too... It's supposed to be like an herb garden, right? Something where you can get some alchemy stuff in it, but I don't think it has enough green in it yet. So let's see what we can do here to make it a little bit more muted. Like bring the colors down a little bit in temperature. Oh, hey, you know what I forgot? We don't have any ivy in this room either. That's going to help out a ton. So we really want to make this room feel, well, green. Come on, where are you? Take us, Trump. Well, that's certainly a direction. Make Rizdane great again. Build a ghost fence and make the Nords pay for it. Yeah. You know, xenophobia isn't exactly unknown to the Dunmer. Just saying. They're all about making Morrowind great again. There we go. Yeah, we need lots and lots of grass here. We might even go a little bit overboard with this because, well, we can. This is inside of an interior cell, and it's going to be split off from the main... eventually, all of these things are going to get split off into their own little cells, and that means that you can sort of go crazy with these small interiors and put as many references and items and stuff in here as you want, because it's just not going to touch performance that badly. You know, something that I've wanted to do for a really long time is to... And I've talked to the Discord staff, right? Not the Twitch staff, but the Discord staff, as to implementing this feature. I would love it so that if you said Inwa or something in chat, that we could put up a chatbot or something, and then there would be a string replacer for that chatbot that would replace Inwa, like the word, with the Daedric characters of that. I think that would be really cool. Kind of fun to do too, because then everybody has to guess like what you're actually saying. I don't know. Show of hands here. Who actually knows how to read Daedric? I mean, sometimes I can pretend to. It's like, that sort of looks like an E. I can, if given enough time, I can sort of figure it out. But yeah, it's a little bit difficult for me. Doesn't come naturally. You know, a couple characters. Yeah, like the R's are very easy. Redrun. Okay, the E's I can sort of get, and the S's. But if you threw like a Q at me or something, I would be like, what the hell is that? Raccoon Dance! Welcome to the stream, man. Glad you could make it today. Oh yeah, it's easier for words. Lots of O's. Yeah, O's. Everybody knows O. Here's the thing that kind of amuses me. Occasionally, you'll find on the banners of Vivek in Vivek City, for fan art. So not in the actual game, but for the like fan art of the game, instead of it being the V, it's an O. Like just O's everywhere. Because people naturally assume that the character has a little thing in the middle of it. I'm sure that I've lost like 90% of my audience here. Like, what the hell is he talking about? But no, it's true. Like, we need some better lighting here. What should we call this? TM. Yeah, I don't want this to like be part of the other stuff. So TM. Area green. All right, there we go. That looks a lot more garden-esque to me. We might even replace this center part here too. A lot of Morrowind lighting comes down to like actually just fiddling with stuff and trying to get something that looks halfway decent. For a while, it's been a while. You were sleeping. I've been super late the past few months. It's true. Like, my streams have been quite a bit later than they've usually been. It was on kind of a weird schedule back then, and now I'm up in the mornings again, so now I'll probably have more time to stream. Good news for everybody. Oh, I want to get rid of these things, don't I? Okay, just want to make sure that nothing's clipping in the back here. There we go. Sweet. Oh my god. Welcome to the Stream Harvester 999. How's it going, dude? Okay, let's see what we got so far. We have the 3 housepods that are on the insides. All said and done. We need to do 3 housepods that are on the outside as well. Then we need to create a system that changes... Okay, here's how we'll play it. So we'll have an NPC. We'll have like a steward or something. And then maybe you rescue him or something. I don't know. Or maybe he's just like watching over the housepod or whatever. And he says, sure, I'll go ahead and fix up the tower for you. But you need to go ahead and give me 10,000 gold for, I don't know, the master bedroom or something, right? And so you give him 10,000 gold or whatever it is, whatever that number is. And then that place unlocks and gets fully furnished and stuff. Gives an excuse to keep coming back here. I think that's a lot. That's the Corinthia Tower way of doing stuff. Something that kind of annoys me about house mods, and I know that a lot of people don't care, but I don't like the idea of you just automatically owning something. Sometimes that's done really well, like for Eleonora's mods, they're absolutely beautiful, and it kills me that I don't ever run them because it's kind of a personal hang-up of mine. Here's something important though. We have to make sure that however much these things cost, it's more than what you get out of it. Like, because there's, I don't know, Dremora hearts and stuff inside of these locations. There's some pretty expensive swag here. So it needs to be kind of pricey so that you actually feel the kind of impact, even if you do recover some of the items and stuff to furnished, that keep this place furnished. How do you think Skywind is going to affect the vanilla Morrowind? That's a good question. I don't know. Let me tell you how Skywind has affected vanilla Morrowind so far. There have been quite a few... how should I say that? I'll keep it personal. For me, personally, I knew that I didn't want to get into Morrowind because Skywind was waiting in the wings. And as a Skyrim player, as an ex-Skyrim player, well, I still play Skyrim, but as somebody who came from that background, that was... how shall we say? That was the experience that I was comfortable with, that engine and those graphics and stuff, and so I waited. And then I kept on waiting. And then I waited some more. And then eventually I just got the itch to play this really cool world that I kept on hearing about and kept on seeing. And it drew me to the vanilla game, right? The fact that Skywind wasn't around pulled me into Morrowind. And I think that's actually a common experience with a lot of people too. I mean, I will say this about Skywind. They are great at promotion. And I don't think that as many people out there today who are playing Morrowind would be around if it weren't for the fact that we have people out there that are reminding everyone that Morrowind was and still is a thing. So props to them for that. As far as like when is it going to get released on, like how do you think it's going to affect the game? Well, we're going to have to wait and see. Like there's no way to tell. I think there's going to always be a segment of people out there who just love vanilla Morrowind, and there's going to be a segment of people out there who cannot put up with the combat system and some of the antiquated archaic systems that are inside of Morrowind vanilla. Make sense? My character is a level 4 in Morrowind, and I've already had a full set of Indro armor. Yeah, just be careful about who sees you in that. I'm not going to play Skywind. Well, I mean, I'll play it when it comes out. Sure, I'll play it. If nothing else, I want to go ahead and hear how the voice acting is. We, in fact, have quite a few Skyrim players in chat. We have a couple Skywind, or Skywind devs in chat as well, so... Well, not this chat, but the Discord. Right, the thing that's linked down below. Skywind will be nothing like Morrowind. Lack of a journal system, lack of good magic system, and no dice roll combat, which you like, and things like that. Yeah, your mileage may vary with the whole dice roll system. I'm not a huge fan of it. But hey, that's why we have mods. And, you know, if somebody is really into that system, it's still there. It's not like it's gonna go anywhere. Okay, so we need to clutter these rooms now. We have, like, what, 6 of them? So we got all of the junk out of there. Now we need to place in, like, barrels and crates and just a sort of miscellaneous stuff that's sort of in the way and kind of hard to maneuver around. In fact, what we could do is to... I need to put a little warning up too. Yeah, I'll need to put a little warning up in the dialogue saying that whatever you go ahead and leave inside of these housepods is going to become inaccessible, because otherwise people are just going to... They might go ahead and leave like a Daedric item or something somewhere on the floor in one of these cells, and then, yeah, that's not a good thing. And I'm not feeling this track. So here's something I'm considering doing. We have this root system down on the bottom here, which always kind of looks to me like this stuff right down here. Like it's still sort of growing, like it hasn't been trimmed back yet. Like if you can imagine a lawnmower or somebody with a hatchet or something just going at this stuff, that's what I see these locations as. So here's my idea. What if we take these housepods, right, the vanilla ones that are in the game, and we ditch the floors. So we get rid of the floor entirely, and then we put this thing right on the top here. Okay, so now we're looking down at basically nothing. Right, so you have to imagine that there's gaps and stuff in between here. And of course, we would increase the density of this a little bit. But then we can do some really cool parallax stuff. Right, so we can have these ones a little bit raised up. And then we can keep doing that. So you have to imagine that this here, like it's elevated right now, but it would be a ground level before. You with me so far? Then the very last thing that we do is we take in, we make a terrain mesh that is, that has the same kind of coloration as the outside, right? So if the outside looks like ash, we'll have like a little a little mesh that looks like the hills or whatever. So that it looks like this thing is still growing. I think that would be really cool. We've done something like this before in one other location. So let me pull that up. It's actually inside of Outlander, and I'll show you what I mean. You don't think a note saying, "Hello, Nerevar, this is your long-lost pal, Dagot. I would like you to have this house as a sign of friendship. P.S. Join us, please." Alright, so let me show you what I'm talking about here. Tel Mithryn. I'm just trying to remember where this thing is. So give me a second here. In fact, I know where it is, I just don't know what it's called. Maybe I don't know where it is. Come on. Yeah, here we go, the stock farm. And this is good too, because it also has like some netting on there as well. Yeah, we'll do something like that. I like that idea. Oh, hey, like I actually missed a bunch of chat. Let me catch up here. Sweet beloved Jehovah. You're alive. Yes, I'm alive, man. Welcome to the stream, Sword and Chant. Hide the Boethia pillow book under a pillow. Gasps. Yeah, I like the organic vibes like that. Rootway is so cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, my chat broke. It's because I'm not using hold on, we can fix this. Give me a second. Okay, we will... First things first, we need to cut out the bottom of those house pods. And I think what we're going to need to do too is, if we're going to cut out the bottom, we need to extend out the walls a little bit downwards as well too. Which should not be that difficult, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up too badly here. I might have saved over something important. Okay, good. So this is the exterior, and then we need the interior. It will be INT housepod. Okay, there we go. Excellent. In fact, I am going to... There we go. Yeah, Sword in Chat. I was telling Chat earlier that I kind of lost my drive to do these things a little bit. Just a little bit, right? And so this past month has been kind of an adventure for me trying to... I don't know what the best term is. Get back with it. Okay, what we'll probably want to do is to add in a collision. Yeah, we'll probably want to keep collision right there. So you'll literally not be able to hit this bottom part, even if we don't put any vines and stuff there on the top. Something else that we should do is to put in some extra shading down here as well. Why is it not letting me shade? There we go. Yes, 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 I know, the texture stretching. Here, I'll fix that just for you. Well, in fact, we need to fix the geometry first, don't we? There needs to be 2 of those, don't there? So this goes here. What was your favorite Elder Scrolls DLC? Well, I mean, I've said this before. It's got to be Dragonborn, man. I love the way that Apocrypha looks, but I have been told, and I haven't actually played this yet, that Shivering Isles is the best. It's like the best DLC ever. Which, you know, I mean, I'm getting there. I would love to check it out for myself, but after working on this thing for so long, I wanted to have a break, and so I took a Took some time to play KOTOR, which I had never done before. And I gotta say, excellent game. I love it. Alright, let's see if I can get this thing to work right. Got to figure out the topology on this. What if we... Because I want this thing to be symmetrical all the way around. Yes, so it would be snapping on the vertex. And then these two would... Okay, there we go. I think that'll work just fine. Just a note, we're gonna have to do all of this over again on the other mesh. Ooh, we got a little bit of a crunch here, don't we? What's going on here? Shivering Isles definitely would either be Dragonborn or yeah, Shivering Isles is amazing. For sure, Shivering Isles. It's so alien and out there. Yeah. I've played a little bit of it. So I did the main quest with basically a ranger character. He had enchanted arrows. That was his gimmick. What's going on here? We have all sorts of weird stuff. Okay, that's not ideal. And I can't do a... Oh, I can. Excellent. Yeah, for some reason the vertex shading up here just did not keep, but we can blend it in. Whoa. There we go. I think that's, oh, no, we still got a little bit left here. Still got to figure out this section down here. Yeah, it looks better like that. I mean, technically it's not as correct, but it looks better. Okay, I'm very confused. Why can I select that? Oh, there's a hole there. Now that makes sense. Nope, something's still off. Shivering Isles. Okay, I think we're actually good on this. Believe it or not. I mean, I keep on saying that, and eventually one of these days it's going to be true. Okay, I like it. Location, rotation, and scale. I think we need to make sure that that has two different materials set on there. So we got that one, and then this has just the one material. Excellent. Cool. Here's what I'm going to do for the collision, in fact. I'm going to... copy these out. Get rid of that empty. Paste them back in, and then merge them together. Just as a matter of a little bit of housekeeping there. Okay, we're going to save this as... Ooh, that's a good question. What should we save this as? DR... Okay, TM house pod deep. Actually, we'll call it deep pod. Why does the resident sleeper show up like that? So I've changed some of the icons around. So yes, Dagoth is now resident sleeper. I suppose I could have like an actual sleeper, like an Ash zombie, but I think that one's fitting. To answer your question, black magic. That's always the answer for everything. Okay, export out to Dinnerverse Gamebryo, and this is called DRT Deep Pod 01. Actually, should be T. It's fine. There isn't going to be a deep pod on the outside, so We're good. One of these days. Okay, let's see how this thing looks in game. Man, I hope this is gonna work. Yeah. That's what Morrowind needs. It needs more cats. Okay, so these things should just be plug and play. Oh, hey, look who, I don't know if I like that or not. So if you notice here, the walls are using the wrong texture. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Okay, housepod 1, housepod 1, and housepod 2. Okay, so we can replace these two ones. What do you guys think? Do you like it better with the smooth walls, or should we go ahead and have the vanilla walls? I'm kind of leaning towards the smooth walls, actually, because it feels just a little bit different. I think this might be one of those times where less is actually more. So we need to have enough here so that it looks like you can stand on these vines. But we need to actually... don't want to place too many of them down here. And then I think we'll put in some rocks and stuff on the bottom too. If we have to, we'll go ahead and put in that extra mesh as well. Yeah, that's going to be so cool when people walk on this thing. I'd love to put some netting down here as well, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of digging it myself. Anything that I can do to make the floors look more interesting, I am all for. Because you're going to be looking down most of the game anyway. If you're in third person anyway. If you're in first person, it doesn't matter as much, but it still kind of matters. Roofs don't matter at all. Hell, in Dragon Age, I don't think there are roofs. You never really get to see stuff that's under construction. You sort of do with the Solstheim stuff, with the Blood Moon things, but you never really get to go ahead and see, like, well, what does a Telvanni housepod look like when it's half in the... I don't think that Dragon Age actually has roofs inside of some of their buildings. Because... Okay, so let me... If you are an NPC or something inside of Dragon Age, and you're walking around like this, I'm talking about Dragon Age Origins specifically, you can do something with a camera that is like this when it zooms out. So it might be that they have their meshes set up so that there's the bottom part of the mesh and then the top part of the mesh, and the top part doesn't have any kind of collision with the camera at all. Yeah, BioWare does things like that a lot. In fact, in KOTOR, right? In Knights of the Old Republic, the camera is actually locked so that you have to go ahead and view the perspective from a specific angle. That works great. Better than you would think in a lot of subtle ways, right? So if I was at the bottom of a huge city, right? If I was at the ground floor, I would want to have the camera lower to the ground. Maybe not this low, but pretty low to the ground to accentuate the height of the buildings, right? That kind of gives a sense of powerlessness. Whereas if I was up at the top of a building, you'd want it to go ahead and camera to be panning slightly down so that it would have a better view of the cityscape down below. And it would make you make you feel powerful and stuff. BioWare does that kind of stuff a lot. Obsidian got really tricky with it too. So Obsidian, what they did is they said, okay, we'll let you go ahead and have a free camera. We'll let you look around and stuff. But the thing is, like, it always sort of snaps back. And it forcefully snaps you back too. Like, you can look around and stuff, but it always goes ahead and zeroes back. And so it subtly encourages the player to accept the scene that he's in, as opposed to make the player feel forced that he's into that scene. Very, very clever stuff. One hour, 4 minutes, 48 seconds. Okay, I can be here for about another 25-ish minutes, and then I gotta go. But I will be here on the Discord, and I'll probably be streaming again tomorrow. I mean, I always say that, but hopefully I will be this time. I think we have enough time to get that other house pod knocked out, and yeah, I'm going to keep the walls like this. It was a mistake, but hey, it works. What was what issue? I'm not sure that I follow. Okay, we need the second house pod. No, those are the poles. Where's just like the regular one? Oh, you're kidding me. Here's what happened. I don't actually have that second mesh. because I saved it as this one. Bad. Greatness 7. Are you still in chat, man? Are you still around? I mean, we can export it out the hard way, I suppose. This is always kind of tricky, though. I don't know how well it's going to work. We can try it. Right, where would that be? Sorry, give me a second here. I need to... get my stuff in order here. And I'm guessing it's... No, I need an actual location for this. It's under the D's, okay. Oh, what am I missing here? There should be an INT housepod 02. What is going on? Morrowind vanilla data -SD. Oh, okay, the stuff you were talking about with BioWare and Obsidian lost you about halfway through. Basically what I was talking about with Obsidian and BioWare is the fact that they used cameras, like the angle of the camera, to accentuate emotion, which is something that you can't do inside of Morrowind or Oblivion or Skyrim for that matter. There is no way... Skyrim and Oblivion and Morrowind are particularly bad in this case because there is no... If I was setting up a scene, right? If I was setting up a scene in... Well, the example that comes to mind is BioShock Infinite, but it could be like any game, right? So there are triggers. There are specific things that you can do where when you look at an object, right? When you look at I don't know, a coffee mug or something, then you can have that event play a trigger. Right, that can trigger an event. So if you look at a coffee mug, then maybe the lights flicker or something, or somebody says a line of dialogue or whatever. Okay. You can't do that kind of thing inside of Morrowind, and more importantly than that, you don't want to have those triggers fire off right away. You want to have them like delayed a little bit as well. So that, okay, if I'm looking at this thing for an instant while I'm turning, you don't want this thing to fire off. You want it to say, okay, I've been looking at this coffee cup for 5 seconds. Somebody then is going to ask, hey, what are you doing, right? Or whatever the line of dialogue is. Open file location meshes. See, it's an eye. That's so freaking weird. Oh, because the D's are the doors. Gotcha. Now it's all coming together. Seriously, did that not import at all? Come on, guys. Work with me here. Python script. Okay, hey, you know what? Greatness 7, are you still out there, man? Give me a second. I need to page him. BRB. Okay, while I wait on that, let's clutter out the rest of these cells. So this is looking okay. It's looking pretty decent, but we need to go ahead and put in a little bit more clutter just to fill out the area. Yeah, that's a cool idea. We might even have some stuff down here in the bottom that you can't reach. I didn't think of that. See, the thing is, I could troubleshoot that problem. It's not insurmountable, but I don't want to do that on stream. It's not fun for you, it's not fun for me, and so... yeah. And then we'll put in a couple barrels here as well. Maybe an urn or two. What I'd like to do is put in some like mushrooms and stuff that are growing here in the bottom as well. I think that'd be pretty cool. So I remember for the longest time, back when I was checking out, I think it was Dark Fox's stream, he has this awesome scene where this tower just pops out of the ground. Like spoilers, but that's what it does. And a pretty massive one at that. It's like one of the bigger set pieces inside of Morrowind. Or Morrowind. It's inside of Skyrim. Don't even know what the hell I'm talking about today. So, naturally, he wanted to direct the player to look at a specific thing when this massive set piece comes out of the ground. And he just couldn't do it. Like, the engine is not capable of recognizing when you're looking at something and for how long it's looking. Which, as I'm sure you can imagine, like makes environmental storytelling so much harder, because it means that there's things that you naturally can just overlook then. Curious, do you have any idea how far you're into Outlander progress-wise? Oh my god, Scoots. Well, that's a very interesting question. 3 months ago, I would have said that I was further along than I am today, and I'll tell you why. There has been an adventure with my laptop, and I don't want to go ahead and keep on blaming this thing. But my plan was, for the rest of the year, I would just go ahead and type on my laptop and finish out the NPC work, right? And then all of this extra stuff that I've been doing will be in like a 2.0 release, or like something that's after this release, right? This was going to be, I don't know if it was complete or not, but it would have been released to the community for public review and stuff, and get people's opinions and get people excited about it and stuff. Unfortunately, that didn't really happen. And it's not because I didn't want to go ahead and work on NPCs, quite the opposite, but it wasn't in the cards, man. And so instead of just twiddling my thumbs, I decided, well, you know what? I can go ahead and expand on a couple areas, and I can do some 3.0 stuff that I wasn't planning on doing yet. And so that's why we did all of the whole Vivek City stuff. On the inside, I mean. Because that was originally planned to be later on this year in 2017. So I wanted to keep on moving forward on at least one front. So, I mean, the best that I can go ahead and tell you about that is it's going to be done when it's done. I originally planned this this mod to be released. Originally, I planned it to be done in like a month, and then other stuff happened. Flixer, dude, welcome to the stream. It was already in lurking mode for about an hour or so. Really? Well, if you want to lurk, friend, go ahead and lurk. It's all the same to me. Tell you what, I lurk in a lot of streams too. I was lurking in Rogowski's stream there for a while. By the way, if you guys are interested in like Fable 2, Rogowski is doing a playthrough of that game right now. I didn't want to get too spoiled about it, but I couldn't help myself. It was such an interesting title. There's so many good games out there that I just have not had a chance to play yet. I mean, there's Shivering Isles. Zerix a hacker on told me a while back that actually the game that preceded Morrowind, well, what is it? Daggerfall. Daggerfall's actually pretty good. So I want to try that as well. Although I don't know, man, Daggerfall is kind of getting up there in age. He says as he mods a 16-year-old game. Actually, no, it's not 16. It's like 15. So there you go. Not as bad as you think. Still pretty bad. Like, the number one question that I get asked so much is, why are you modding that? Like, that's old. Go ahead and do something new. I'm just like, well, I mean, you don't... It's what I like, right? At the end of the day, it is what I enjoy doing. You don't always get to pick and choose what your passions are. Alrighty, I messaged the guy who handles voice acting for TR. DF is superb. Oh, excellent, dude. Hope things work out for you guys. No, just do it. DF is awesome. Oh, what do you guys think will happen when TR finishes the mainland? I think that they will move on to quests. I mean, unless you're talking about, like... actually, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean when they finish? Like when there's nothing left else to do? Okay, I think the reason why this looks so much better than this one over here is because we actually have some lighting in here. Yeah, I really want these mushrooms to glow. That's gonna really ratchet up the weirdness factor. And then we might even put a dark light on the top here. It'd be in 2090, so who cares? Nah, I think, call me an optimist on this, but as much work as TR has, let me put it to you like this. TR has a huge legacy, right? It has all of this stuff that it... Ooh, I forgot to UV that. Okay, that's no problem. Nobody's ever going to see that. TR has this huge legacy of all of the stuff that it's done before, which is both a blessing and a curse. Right? It's a blessing by the fact that, well, they don't have to do it again. And it's a curse because, well, they have all of this stuff that they need to account for. TR has seen a lot of iterations over the years. I think that's a very fair, accurate thing to say. TR has a... Hold on, let me take care of this real quick. TR has a lot of history behind it. And so it is not unreasonable to assume that even if the current administration isn't making a lot of progress right now, it's possible that in the future there is going to be like just a core group of people who come in and just knock stuff out, and you don't need to have like a ton more stuff done to finish off TR, it looks like to me, anyway. I mean, yeah, you need to go ahead and do the quests and stuff. That's going to take a lot of time. But as far as like the landmass is concerned, they only have like the Dres files. Okay. Hold on a second. Rook and G7 are at it again. What are they scheming now? Well, for one reason or another, the importer for Blender 2.49 is broken. Like the Python in it isn't working correctly on the importer. Don't ask me why. That's a little bit above my pay grade. I will try and fix it out later, but it does mean that I need to rely on him if I want to go ahead and get that mesh in a timely manner. I suppose I could have asked just one of you, but no worries. It's all good. In 2090 would be Skyrim Home in the Nords. TR is closer to 2022. Well, let me put it like this. Out of all of the projects out there, besides, I would say, Lyostonia and Outlander, I would put TR next as to the feasibility of it actually coming out. I can actually see TR coming out. Now, for something like Stros Mackay, well, I mean, I haven't really seen a lot of progress on that front yet, so I wouldn't go ahead and rank that as high. Now, it's still possible that Stros Mackay might come out, but I just, I'm not really in a position to say that, like, a project like that is in good shape if I haven't seen a lot of progress in the past few months. Not to single anybody out, though. Like, I don't mean to do that to you, Star Wars gal. Ooh, that looks really cool. I'm so glad that I did that. Do you think Open Morrowind will revive Morrowind somewhat for the general public? No, I don't, actually. Not by itself. For somebody who hasn't been playing Morrowind, well, let me put it like this. For somebody who hasn't been playing Morrowind for 10 years, right? To hear that Open Morrowind is out, a new engine for Morrowind, first of all, they're not they're probably not going to hear about it, right? I play Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 occasionally, very, very rarely, but I have a lot of love and nostalgia for that game. But I don't know the status on Open RTC, right? Which is comparable to this. So I don't think that Open Morrowind alone is going to do a whole hell of a lot. Now, let me say this. What is going to do a lot is the Open Morrowind mods, right? So if they get to that point to a 1.0 status, and then somebody comes out with a kick-ass mod, or 2, or 7, or 12, or whatever, right? If the modding community steps up and takes those tools and runs with it, that's what's going to really revive the Morrowind scene. But like, just the engine alone, no, not so much. And I think that they're pretty aware of that too. That's why before, this is just my conjecture on my part, but that's why before they reach a 1.0 status on anything, they want to get all of their ducks lined up in a row with the CS, because they know that they're going to live or die by the modding community. Yeah, wow, there's an open RTC. Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't know about these things. Like, the projects on their own, absolutely beneficial. I think it's wonderful that those things are still, that somebody out there has the programming ability and the drive to go ahead and do that. But I don't think that alone is going to generate the kind of publicity that is necessary in order to sustain a community. And now let me go ahead and say, out of all of this, it's entirely possible that in another 5 or 10 years, computers simply will not be able to run Morrowind. Right? We have seen that a lot with other older games, with other legacy games, where it's just like, it's a pain in the ass to go ahead and get some DOS games to run. And even if you get it running through an emulator or something, it is just a chore and a nightmare, and it's just not fun at all. And who has time for that, right? But if you make it easy, if you make it accessible, which is what these guys are doing, like Zinni and everybody else, like, it's entirely possible we might live in a world in another 10 years where the only way that you can run Morrowind is through Open Morrowind. Is through OpenMW, I should say. Why not just import it with the plugin you sent before? For some reason or another, I was having trouble with the importer for 2.49. I was having some issues with that. And so, yeah. I didn't want to troubleshoot. If I'm having trouble with something that I've been using for, I want to say, 2 years now, I don't want to risk it with something experimental. Like, I could, and we could go ahead and try it, but I don't want to troubleshoot on stream. Ah, thank you, greatness. It looks beautiful. Much like yourself. Actually, before I do anything, I want to save this in a different location. We'll call this one DRT. T-Pod 02. Wait, why do we have... This is weird. Why do we have a little bit of geometry here that's just flat? God damn it, Bethesda. You crazy. When Open Morrowind gets released, I'm throwing a drunk party for myself. Well, I hope I'm invited, man. Is there some love affair between you and G7? Man, I wish. Bringing the sexiness. That's what Greatness 7 is. Textures are relative to data's files. So yeah, I know. Like for this to work, I would just go ahead and I would save it back in the vanilla files folder that I have, but it's fine. Whatever. It's no big deal. I can just relink them manually. Ooh, that's a good question. What is this? This is wood 5. Wood 5. Yeah, like, I have learned it's best not to give Bethesda benefit of the doubt when it comes to these Morrowind mods or models. Like, you might think so, but not really. Okay, we'll get rid of that, and actually that's not the one that we want, is it? Or is it? Yes, it is. Okay. Skyrim's models are speaking for themselves as well. See, the difference between Morrowind and Skyrim models is the fact that Skyrim models can be a little bit off or whatever, and it's fine because the materials make up for it. Like the geometry cannot be. Geometry is basically everything in this game. There we go. So I got to tell you, the rocks in like the caves and stuff, the UV on those things are so bad. Like, they're so bad that I have to wonder if they even tried. Rotation, scale, and location. And I'm betting that this is like a weird size too. There you go. Okay, I think we're good on this. I think that is... Oh, we need to replace that too, don't we? Yeah, looks pretty good. Just double checking that. Which is weird because the exporter works just fine, but the importer, yeah, it's got a bit of an issue. Oh, good point. Something's wrong here. I need to check the materials. Yeah. What will the release of Open Morrowind mean to the current Morrowind community, according to you? Yeah, that's a really subjective thing. Like, if it's an awesome kit that's very easy to use and gets people into it, or conversely, if it's a good enough CS that lets you do a lot of cool stuff, then it's going to be fine. Right? It's going to be better than fine. It's going to... You would be surprised at how well people adapt to really bad systems if they need to. Right? So if the CS is a freaking mess, talking to you Skyrim modders out there, CK. But yeah, if the OpenCS is a complete mess or whatever, but you still can do some really cool stuff with it, then people are just going to naturally become good at it. Now, I'm not saying that you can completely overlook things like UX or something when you're designing that. But yeah, like, it'll be fine. The bigger question is, like, how stable is it going to be? How much of a performance increase are you going to get? Things like that. I don't know why that's... This is kind of a weird mesh, isn't it? Lock, remove. Why is there 2 nodes under this one? There shouldn't be. If I remove that, is that going to remove the entire branch? I don't think it is. Block or remove. Oh, but now they're not children. I can fix this. Oh wait, those are the effects. Oops. Children, there we go. Okay. Weird, but all right. So the thing is, I don't want to have this, that block there. Well, if there's tri-shaped data, okay, this is weird. I need to see what's going on here. We have the Untitled 2, the Sun. Maybe it's like that Sun. Maybe that's what's doing it. There we go. I think I might have had those layers hidden or something. Who knows? I'll probably spot it on review and be like, oh yeah, I didn't do that one thing. Happens all the time. Now, post 1.0, when they start doing de-hard coding and letting modders the kind of stuff that we never could before, that'll be fun, yeah. I think the number one thing that people are looking forward to, I mean, aside from being able to do multi-core support, of course, is probably weather systems. UI mods, that's the one that I'm looking forward to most. Good Lord knows Morrowind could use it. Okay, that looks a lot better. It's got to be that one. You know, it's funny. I said that this stream would be over in, well, probably about 15 minutes ago. Uptime. Yeah. Still going. That's okay. I want to finish out this last house pod that we have here. And then we'll... Yeah, then we'll see. I gotta say, like, I don't want to toot my own horn too much here, but I love the new Telvanni stuff that we're doing. Oh! Oh! That's a bit of an issue. I'll just fix it instead of Blender. That's fine. I can export it again. I always love little bugs like that. Little ones, not big ones. Big ones are kind of a pain in the butt. File, exports. I mean, I suppose I could have just scaled down the NIF too, but this works just as well. Takes a little bit longer, but at least I now know the blend file is correct, so. Game development, man, it takes forever. All right, take two. Let's see if this works. That is a little bit more reasonable. Sweet. All right, so it was this one here, right? I've spent more time in the construction set than in actual Morrowind. Yeah, by a long shot. Let me ask you guys this. Like, if you had to do it all over again, and I'm talking to you modders out there, and you knew from the outset how long it would take you to make mods, like how much longer it would be than to actually play the game, would you still do it? Like, would you be like, screw that? I want to play some Call of Duty or something. Because as much as I love making mods, and I do, there are days where I'm just like, oh, really? Why is this taking forever? Like, everybody gets burnt out. Everybody. Yeah, I think a lot of us do, Lucifer. It probably explains the longevity of something like Morrowind. It's the fact that there is a construction set there. I mean, there are other communities out there that don't have a CS that are around still, but I don't think they're as healthy or as active as the Morrowind one, personally. Now, that could just be my speaking from bias here, but I think it's pretty true. Yeah, I definitely need to create a net mesh. I can sort of see like you stumbling around on this thing and being careful and such, but in order to really sell this idea, there needs to be just a little bit of netting. Trust me on it, it's going to look a lot better. I managed to spend countless hours modding, but very few of them in the actual CS. Well, I mean, you're not a level designer, as far as I know. You're not interested in dialogue or anything like that. You're interested in creating the tools and stuff. Much more on the programming and scripting side of things. So it makes sense to me. I mean, like if I was an artist or something, I wouldn't be spending a lot of time in the in like a music editor or something. Not entirely unexpected. I've been busy recreating a lot of simpler Skyrim mods for the special edition. Sure, it's a lot of work, but somehow still extremely enjoyable. So has the script extender been created for the special edition yet? I'd like doing level design and stuff, I just hate the CS too much. I suppose that's fair. Like, the reason why we have so much new clutter in Outlander is because cluttering is like 90% of what I do some days. In fact, that's kind of what we're doing right now. That's why I built so many markers for the CS2, because it's just a pain in the butt to work in. Predicted beta release for SKSE 64. Mid-March, huh? That'll be interesting. Now, all I need is a computer that can actually run the Skyrim Special Edition. I kind of have an advantage in all of this, because if I ever wanted to transition over to Skyrim, it wouldn't be that hard to do. At least for what I'm doing right here, this is like 95% exactly the same. As far as like level design and stuff goes, yeah, you're just moving stuff in the CS. So a lot of that skill is like transferable. If I was doing stuff in Papyrus or something and then they completely changed the language, then yeah, that would be another thing entirely. One of the reasons why I like Morrowind so much is because of the limitations, though. There's so many things inside of, so many different ways that you can go inside of Skyrim because, well, the engine is so much better. At least the lighting part of it is. But if you're limited to what Morrowind has, it means you need to be a lot more creative about solving some of these solutions, or solving some of these problems and finding solutions to them. I am in a constant battle with trying to make things look interesting and well lit and stuff inside of this game. Beyond Skyrim Bruma is in beta 2. That's awesome. So Bruma's been doing that for, how long has it been? I feel like it's been a long time. Which is good, because it means that they're taking their time and they're doing it right, and can't wait to see what comes. What do you think, guys? I think people are going to be pretty impressed when they go into these cells for the first time. We're going to show people something that they've never seen before. And hopefully still looks familiar. Hopefully it still kind of has that Telvanni vibe to it. Actually, I like some of Morrowind's vanilla lighting. Nostalgia, you guess? Really? Okay. I mean, to each their own, dude, but I could... That's one of those things that I would mod out in an instant if I could. Then again, some people like not having distant land, and I'm just like, well, I want to be able to see the game that I'm playing. That's fine. You can disagree all you want. That's no worry to me. Skywind's in kind of one of those weird areas where I can't tell it. Well, actually, they probably can't tell whether or not they want to put their own stamp on things or keep things really classic. I mean, I'm more in the camp of, well, I'm not working on Skywind because I don't want to just redo things over again that people have seen with better graphics, right? That's just not something that interests me. Now, if somebody else wants to go ahead and do that, fine. I think that's great. But that's just not something that holds my interest. I'd like to sort of put my own spin on these locations, which isn't really in keeping with the spirit of a makeover, you know, or of a remaster, right? So they call the thing a reimagining, and I don't exactly know what that means. Like, if it's a complete reinterpretation of stuff, then yeah, I don't know. Like, wouldn't it be better just to work on your own mod then? Or your own game then with your own IP that you can take like any kind of direction that you want with that stuff? It's an interesting place to be in. Oh, excuse me. And yet you complain about Skyrim's lighting. Well, I mean, Skyrim's lighting is... Look, it's miles better than Morrowind's. That's for sure. That's a given right there. But that's not to say that it's perfect, right? There are plenty of games out there that have better lighting than Skyrim's. Hell, Battlefront looks beautiful. I don't know what engine that you're using. I think maybe it's Frostbite or something proprietary, but those graphics look amazing. They look like real life sometimes. Especially with like the rocks and stuff. Wow. Now, if only they could make a good game. Oh, that's mean. It's true though. I think this floor might be a little too distracting. Okay, come on, guys. You got to admit, that's pretty cool. I worry they're going to turn the E6 into a scary VR nightmare thing. Yeah, absolutely. That is... Well, here's what they're going to do. I guarantee you. Like, they're going to wait until the next console iteration comes out. Like, the next big one, anyway. I know that they're becoming more iterative. But the next, like, maybe 10 years or something, or 8 years, or whatever, somewhere down the line, that's what the next Elder Scrolls is going to be, most likely. It's going to be this massively huge, probably arena-like, probably overblown thing, instead of just doing one province, and they're going to put in VR integration in there as well. Probably not going to be mandatory, but it's probably going to be a thing. That's the only way that they're going to get funding for it, I would imagine. Hell, they had Kinect support in, for the Dragon Shouts too, I believe. It's at Elder Scrolls 5. It's at Skyrim. So I would not be... In fact, I would be shocked if there wasn't a huge VR push for the next Elder Scrolls game. And it's not just a monetary thing either. It's like, it's one of the very few things where when people try it, especially video game developers try it, they're like, holy shit, this thing is cool. And so they want to go ahead and develop things for that peripheral. The shouting thing was kind of cool, though, in your opinion. Still waiting for Elder Scrolls Offline. Yeah, I hear you, man. Bethesda took the R out of my RPG. Yeah, Frostbite, that's what it was. You know, this here is not bad for a stream. How long have we been doing this? About 2 hours now? So we basically knocked out 1, 2. Wow, we still got to clutter some of this stuff. Let's see, how many rooms is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Created a couple new meshes, made some like new floors and stuff. Well, technically, we didn't make new meshes. We just kind of altered the ones that were already there, but still. I love it. And the best part about it is it still feels Telvanni to me. Right? That's the most important part right there. That you can still read that this is supposed to be, you know. Okay. So, that is going to be it for me today, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah. I had a blast. Hopefully you guys did too. Hey, if you want to go ahead and check out some of the other stuff that I have been up to, you totally can. You can get notifications on, well, let's see, we got Twitch. Obviously, you can go ahead and follow me right here. But if you want to go ahead and get notifications on Steam and Twitter and Discord and stuff, in fact, I would really recommend the Discord. You are more than welcome to check out those places out as well. Links down in the description below, or to the side, or wherever. Other than that, guys, yeah, hope you have a good one. All right, take it easy, everybody.